Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to change some gears here and do the complete outline instead of just the body paragraphs. Okay, good news. If you did not turn in the body paragraphs, you can still do the whole thing and turn it in all at once. Okay, because we're editing this. We're not actually assigning a new assignment. Thought it would be a little bit less confusing this way. A little bit of technical stuff on changing your document. Okay, hopefully you didn't erase anything that was on there before. So if you did, we'll have kind of a backup plan for that. Okay, but um, some things to recognize. Okay, if you got a grade on this and your teacher already sent it back, it might show with a different point total. So 20 out of 50, that's not very good. Now 20 out of 25 was pretty decent. But now, man, I've got 25 more points to make up. Just did that so it would give you a different point total. So you see, oh crap, I'm about halfway done. I still got some stuff to do. So don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. We changed the point totals. It's just different so that you can recognize you still need to do something. Okay. And also, it's going to say graded here. Okay, if you've already submitted it, and then you get it sent back because we're editing this assignment. It's not a new assignment. Okay, it might look new because it has a new title. It's got some new directions and stuff on there, but it's literally the first outline assignment. We've just changed a couple of things so that it's easier. You didn't have to create a new document. You don't have to anything different other than a couple of little tweaks here. Okay, so this is the outline. Okay, stupid email stuff. Okay, this is the outline, but the complete outline. So we're gonna show you how to do that really quickly. This is not gonna be a long video at all on how to make all that stuff reappear. Okay, and then talk about the introduction parts and the conclusion parts very quickly. Okay, so I open back up my document, and I've got some instructions here. Rule number one: watch watch that stuff. So I've already done this for the introduction paragraph. Okay, that there's stuff here. Okay, so originally it looked like this. Okay, so you couldn't see that, right? So to get this to show back up, and that's what we want to do. Those are our steps, right? There's a little zoom in a little bit. Okay, there's this little highlight color thing. All I did is to black that out as the text, and then the highlight color were the same. Okay, they're the black. Okay, uh, so what we need to do is literally just select all that stuff. Okay, and then come up here to highlight color, and you can click none. Okay, now if you picked a lighter color, it'd still show up. Okay, but to be less confusing, just click none, and there it is. Boom. Okay, now you can see, okay, that the thesis statement, okay, is already kind of halfway written for you. That's Zeus. Hey, some of y'all don't have Zeus. Okay, so you need to change this into whatever it is that you have. We supplied a sample kind of thesis statement for some of the students that had packets that could not use the internet. So if you just replace Zeus and then this first kind of attributing adjective string, okay, so like Zeus, the all-powerful king of the gods, okay, that's kind of who he is, what he does, right? That's just kind of an adjective string of things that talks about who Zeus is, right? Okay. If I just, let's say I have Poseidon, the sea god, or, it's just, I'm renaming that. It's kind of an epithet sort of deal, if you understand what that means, right? So it's just a renaming of that person, kind of in a attributing way, that epithet sort of way, all right? And then how he got his power. Okay, that's origin, right? He is the god of, right? That's his job, and then is interesting about what did he do that made him interesting. Okay, so this is kind of a way to point down, like, hey, That's what I'm talking about in my body paragraphs right here. Okay, that's what that thesis statement does. This is a really clinical thesis statement. It's really simple. Okay, we're wanting simple right now. We're wanting just, okay, this looks good. Boom, let's go. All right. So that's what your thesis statement will kind of look like. So change some of that. Okay. Yeah, you can use whatever. That's why there's blanks there, man. Okay. So yes, you can use that. Okay, but you might want to change if I have somebody other than Zeus, which not 95% of you guys do. Change that. Change your guy's name. Change your girl's name. No gender bias here. Okay. So that's what we're doing here. Hook sentence, attention grabber. What a lot of junior high English teachers call it. Attention grabber, hook sentence, whatever it is that grabs your attention. Okay. Could be a definition, could be a quote, could be, there's a bunch of different stuff. Okay. There's kind of some ideas on that. You could always look back at the kind of assignment sheet. There's some cool stuff in there to kind of talk about the whole writing process and that kind of stuff too. Okay. Background info, you're going to kind of set up like, who the heck is Zeus? Right? You have to kind of introduce, right? Introduction paragraph. Look at that. That's what we're doing here, right? So we kind of have to introduce the idea of our person before we get into the very specifics with that. Now, the thing about being specific, that's what we're doing. Gosh, bless America. Go away, email. I don't know why my computer thinks whatever you're doing, if you get an email from so-and-so, here you go. Okay, but what I'm doing here is I'm introducing who it is. So let's say like I got a situation where I'm meeting somebody for the first time. Like when you meet somebody, what do? You tell them your name, right? Tell them who you are, a little bit about yourself. You're not going to go in like, hey, I was born, I weighed 6 pounds, 4 ounces, and I had 3 teeth already when I was born. You're not going to say stuff like that when you first meet somebody. Now, once you get to know them a little bit, you might go a little bit deeper in that. Okay, so that's kind of the way we communicate all this stuff. So in my introduction, I'm literally just saying, hey, my name is so-and-so. Okay, but you want to make a good impression, right? So that good impression is kind of my hook sentence. My background info, that's just a little taste, okay, of what I'm going to get into in my body paragraphs. Okay, don't get that confused with my thesis statement. Thesis statement's like, all right, that's what I'm doing. Okay, background info, I need to kind of set that up. What do I need to know about this person before I get to this more concise stuff? Okay, so you might want to say something about what the heck is Greek mythology? Okay, we want to talk about somebody in Greek mythology. What if that person doesn't know what Greek mythology is? Might be important. Might want to put that in the background info. Okay, so tell us what Greek mythology is. Why are we reading this? Okay, why is it important? That's all the stuff that goes in that background info. Cool. All right, now we got to go back down and do some more selecting. Okay. This is the bottom part of this. Okay, so now I can kind of see it a little bit. I'll scroll up back to the top. Okay, again, hitting this highlight thing. Looks like a little marker. Click none, boom. It appears like that magic ink stuff. Okay, so conclusion paragraph. Restate my thesis. Do not just copy your thesis statement down. But you kind of do. Okay, you kind of do. So I wrote this beautiful, like really simple thing up here. Right? It's awesome. But I'm just going to make it awesome again by saying it kind of like Yoda talks, right? Yoda kind of sounds stuff backwards, right? So if you think about this, I'm introducing, kind of starting general, working into more specific in my thesis statement. In my restatement of thesis, I'm going to start kind of specific. Hey, I talked about this, and this, and then kind of sum it up a little bit. Okay, so it's almost like a mirror, right? It's almost like a mirror. If you have trouble with that, no big deal. Ask some questions, whatever. But it's kind of like a mirror of what I did in my thesis statement. I'm going to do in my restatement of thesis. Okay. But in the conclusion paragraph, again, it's kind of a mirror. Like, so you look in a mirror, right looks like left, left looks like right, right? Okay, so that's kind of what we're talking about with top and bottom here. Introduction and conclusion are kind of the same way. Okay, so in my introduction, I'm kind of general, and then I work into specific, like I'm going to talk about these three things, right? And then in my conclusion, I talked about these three things. Let me remind you, okay? So that's kind of how that works, right? Same thing with the thesis. Thesis was the last sentence, okay? The last sentence in that introduction, right? And then the conclusion, the restatement, is the first sentence. So again, that mirror, left is right, right is left, bottom is top, top is bottom kind of thing. Okay, that's how that all works. All right, so the technical part of that is really the confusing thing, why I even made a video over this. Okay, but make sure that you can take that highlighting off. If you have a trouble with that, let one of us know. I figured that that would be kind of a thing, but it's a whole lot easier than having to create a new document and do all that stuff. Okay, for the rest of it, man, just follow your directions, right? Literally, we didn't go very in depth in this. Like, select, highlight, blackout text, change highlight color to none. Boom. Showed you how to do that. Told you how to do that. And then just write your stuff. Okay. Again, this is a new assignment, but it's an edited assignment. You get this. You see this. Do it. Okay. It's different, but it's the same. Okay. Just make sure you write your introduction and conclusion. Okay. Any questions, hit us up, email,